Hello everybody, Flash Notion here, back for one more My Hero Academia reaction in this recording session of mine that I'm doing today. We are on episode, I want to say 11? That sounds right. And last time, Shigaraki had failed to take, well, Shigaraki and All For One, failed to take the power of One For All. And then Deku, I think, passed out. Unclear what happened to Shigaraki. The rest of the league are on their way on Gigantamachia's back. Somehow Toga managed to get to the area where Ochako is faster than Gigantomachia apparently could get to where Deku and Shigaraki are. I honestly don't know how that all works. Like, the framing of this battlefield has just kind of gotten away from them a little bit, I think. But hey, whatever. Dabi's up to something, not anything good. And we seem to have just kind of like abandoned the mountain chateau. Like, nothing's going on there anymore, it feels like. Since Machia got away. So yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because, like, there were a lot of PLF members that did not get captured. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out, I guess. As far as this time, I mean, don't really have any predictions, because, like, the question now is just, can Shigaraki get away? I mean, get away is somewhat relative, because, like, like, where is he gonna go? As long as Maki is around, I mean, they're not gonna lose sight of the villains, but, like, they're not gonna really be able to do anything about them either. So, who knows? We'll find out. Later, though. Well, in this one, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Let's just watch the episode. How about that? Let's watch the episode. We'll switch over here and get ready. So, starting in 3, 2, 1, and play. All right, that was pretty good. Pretty good episode. A bit unexpected, honestly. And I will say that immediate thought is that they shouldn't have put the bit with Best Jeanist at the front of the episode. And my thought process behind that is that up till that moment, we had every reason to believe that Hawks may have actually killed him. Like, it was not clear at all which direction they were going. And therefore, if they hadn't put that at the start of the episode, we could have continued to wonder, did Hawks actually kill Best Jeanist? And when Dabi said that Hawks did, with the way that the episode was structured now, we know that he didn't. But because of but if they hadn't done that, if they'd left that bit until right before the rest of it at the end, then what we would have had is we would have had a lot of like tension and a lot of like, newly, not newly, but like worst fears confirmed type setup there, where it's just like, oh god, they did a DNA test for Endeavor. Then now they're saying Hawks actually killed Best Jeanist. They must have done a DNA test for that somehow, right? Like they must have actually, like this must be an actual thing. Like that really was Best Jeanist. Oh god, Hawks actually killed him. And then Best Jeanist is just like, nope, nope. Fuck you! I'm alive, and I'm here to save the day. And he would have been doubly awesome. So I feel like the choice to not do that, I don't know if it was deliberate or if they just didn't think of it or what, but like, yeah, revealing that at the start of the episode was a bad idea. Other than that, oh wow. I mean, we got a little bit more with Ochako, and a bit more with well, okay, so we had a bit more of not exactly a fight, but like Shigaraki was not yet down. He still had his combat tentacles there, and he was still up and moving a little bit. So like that much was like that was still happening, and like yeah, nobody was in any shape to take him on. I mean, I guess yeah, Todoroki and Nejire, but like yeah, I have to go back actually real quick because they said something in that scene about, where was it? Where was it? Like, All For One said something about like a quirk in his spine. Try and okay. Okay. What the hell does that mean? He named a quirk. It sounded like rivet stab. And then he talked about auto tracking and like I don't understand what that was about. Frankly, it doesn't even matter what it was about. It's just like some techno babble, but like I don't know. I just thought it would be cool to actually know, but that still doesn't make sense on the second time. Um, all that matters is that he is alive and technically wasn't actually beaten. Like his body has given out a little bit, but like I mean, he took on Deku, Endeavor, Bakugo all at once. And he was the one that was still in better fighting shape at the end, technically speaking, than the others. And then the stuff with Ochako, and yeah, I love Serious Ochako. Like we do not get enough of Serious Ochako. Most of her has been silly, and like the few times that we do get to see her be serious, like it's not enough. And certainly this level of seriousness for her is new, and I love it. I just love it. Her Even her voice sounds so much more different, so much more adult and mature, and like it's just so interesting to see her as a character be allowed to do that. Um, and like makes me even more afraid moving forward, but whatever. Um, you get what you deserve. God, I don't even know how I feel about that statement. Like, because it's a question of like, or well, it wasn't you get what you deserve. It's you deserve what you get. And if anything, that's a much worse way of putting it. Because like, we don't know for sure what all Twice did as a criminal, but he didn't deserve that. Twice wasn't evil. Like, from what we could see, he wasn't a sadist. Like, his clones killed each other, sure. But we've never heard about him killing anyone else, and he cares about people. Like, not in a weird, twisted way, the way that Toga does. Like, he genuinely cares about people. So, he, in no way, shape, or form, deserved to die right there. Again, I can understand the pragmatic, like, choice was made to kill someone who was a potential threat. But to say that he deserved what he got is a slap in the face. And I know that Ochako doesn't actually, like she doesn't know Twice's situation. All she knows is that he's a criminal. So like, she doesn't mean anything by it. But it's one of those things where like saying that they deserve what they get, if what they get is death, like that's it just rings wrong, you know? Like it's not. I don't know. I don't know how to say this because like they are villains. They are acting against society and safety, and they're not surrendering. And I mean, Jin had opportunities to surrender, but like he was also acting on a sense of what he thought was right. He was trying to protect the people that he cares about. That's, for him, standing down meant betraying all of the people that he cares about. And that's not something that he could do, and frankly, not something that people really should do. Like, you shouldn't be asked to betray the people that you care about like that. I don't know. It's one of those situations where there's no right answer. The right answer is to make sure that nobody ever gets put in that situation in the first place. But that's not very realistic, and it doesn't actually address what do you do when that situation does come up. I don't know. Do I think Hawks was in the wrong? I I don't know. I am very much against, like, on principle, I do not believe that any police officers, officers of the law, whatever, should use lethal force to subdue anyone. And in many cases, I think the techniques used for non-lethal subdual are still too much. They're still too dangerous. I think that Hawks, he wasn't defending himself, but I mean this wasn't some simple like robbery where he could just knock the guy out and hand him to the police and everything would go back to normal. Like, this is basically a war. And so, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's hard to say if what Hawks did was the wrong thing to do. I mean, was it wrong from a moral standpoint is the other question. Like, I mean, it's honestly the more important question. It might have been the right thing to do in order to, like, serve the greater good, but was it wrong from a moral standpoint? It very well might have been. I mean, I don't think Jin ever lied to Hawks. And Hawks, I mean, he just straight up lied to everybody. I mean, he was doing his job. It wasn't personal. And he gave Jin outs that Jin couldn't take. It's just a mess. It really is just a mess. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, going back to it, what Uraraka said to Ochako, or wait, what? What Ochako said to Toga was wrong. Or at least it was taken wrong. I don't think Ochako meant it as, well, if you die in this fight, that you deserved that. I don't think that's what she meant. I don't think she was trying to, like, put down Toga or say that, Jin was just, like, not human in her eyes or anything like that. I think she was just trying to say, like, you guys are criminals. There are consequences to your actions. And it just, I mean, it's going to come across wrong when Ochako doesn't have the full picture. And I mean, point to be made, Toga didn't actually say that, hey, Hawks murdered my friend. Like, she talked about him in the past tense, but, like, she didn't actually explain what happened. And maybe she should have. But, yeah, that whole situation, it has me worried now, because I feel like Toga is gonna give up on Ochako and possibly Izuku as well, and at that point she becomes super dangerous. Because, I mean, she's like one of the most lethal members of the group. So, yeah. And I haven't even talked about the big thing of the episode yet, have I? God damn. Toya, however the fuck you pronounce his name. The eldest Todoroki brother. Yeah, I've known. I think I've known since about season 2. Just because it was all over the internet, and I could have avoided it probably, and I didn't. So I've known since at least the time when I was watching season 2, I'd say. And, it's always been in the back of my mind, like, oh yeah, Dabi is Endeavor's son. He's Todoroki's brother, but, like, yeah, I tried not to think about it too much, and I kind of referenced that I knew, but, like, I never really said anything, I don't think. But yeah, I mean, I knew. I I just didn't know it was going to be this episode that it was revealed. Um, I might have had a little bit more fanfare going on if I knew. Um, yeah, I mean, the way it was revealed, I mean, that's certainly going to be a sensational video online for quite a while. And, like, yeah, as the boys there that were watching it pointed out, uh, Dobby got ahead of the narrative. He controlled how the information was released and in what light the public saw it. I mean, obviously there are two sides to every story, and we saw Endeavor. I don't know if it was at his worst, but we saw some pretty bad shit before we started seeing any sort of sympathetic side to Endeavor. And I mean, I still don't really have any sympathy for him. Like, he was a massive asshole, and the public kind of does deserve to know that eventually. Frankly, as soon as he started having this, like, change of heart, he should have come forward to the public and been like, hey, if it, just in case, here's the skeletons that are in my closet. That way you guys are hearing it from me first. Like, that's what he should have done. He should have gotten ahead of this potential PR nightmare. Like, I don't know. Maybe I just think differently, but, like, that's how I think about it. It's just like, Endeavor occupied a very public position at that point. Even if, Dobby wasn't Toya, even if none of this was happening, like, who's to say that one of his other kids wouldn't someday decide to, like, do an interview and just say, oh yeah, my dad's a giant piece of shit. None of you should like him. And that's how it got out. Like, it really is just a case of, like, the moment Endeavor started wanting to be a better person, the moment that he, at the very least, around the time that the white paint strip guy ending started coming after him, Endeavor should have recognized the dangers that being such a public figure whatever. And yeah, he should have gotten out ahead of it. He should have been like, here's the skeleton. Here is what I have done wrong, and what I'm trying to do now to make up for it. Especially because, yeah, looking back on it, like we heard it from Todoroki that, like, it was an arranged marriage, and that much still seems to be true. But, like, we've now also heard it from the mom there, whose name I can't quite remember, but, like, yeah, Endeavor actually does care about her and wanted to have a happy family. Like, that flashback, I mean, it might have been rose-colored glasses on Endeavor's part there. Maybe the actual flashback was much, much worse. But clearly it wasn't all bad. So, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, right now the public is seeing all of this in the worst possible light. They are seeing a villain come forward, one who is known to the public and is known to be dangerous, coming forward and saying, yeah, I'm Endeavor's son. The guy's a massive piece of shit. He's the reason I turned out this way. And that's gonna color their perception of him and of everyone associated with him, especially with that information about Hawks also being leaked. The reveal that Best Jeanist is alive is going to soothe some fears, because they're going to be like, oh, okay, so there was a sting operation going on. Best Jeanist is alive. Hawks didn't kill him. Not everything that Dobby said is necessarily true or accurate, but there's still going to be a lot of blowback from this, a lot of negative stuff that happens. Yeah. Good plan from Dobby. Great plan, actually. Um, Jesus. Just Jesus. Like, what the hell? I love when this show goes places like this. Because I have now been ranting for. Well, the recording has been going on for 50 minutes. I don't know how long I've actually been talking. But long enough. So that's where we're going to end this one. Yeah. I mean, for you guys, next episode will be out tomorrow. I don't know when I'm going to get my next recording session in. We'll see. But until next time, bye-bye.